So if there is anyone who's trying to get into the space, the coding, ignore that. Don't be scared. It's very easy stuff to get into. Just focus on making solutions that are valuable.
That's so key, man.
There's not a single business in this world right now, that does not have an AI solution that you can't implement for them.
Hmm.
Every business in this world needs AI. And if you don't integrate AI, you're not going to be moving as fast. If you are able to double, you yourself as a business owner, if you're able to double your productivity by implementing this solution, imagine what's going to happen when you teach that employee how to do it. So the solutions is where the money is going to be. And for business owners, the solutions where the return on investment is going to be.
Godwin, thanks for coming on the show today, bro. It's a pleasure speaking with you. I love your content on TikTok. That's how I found you. And I think you're doing really good work on there, bro. I am curious, how did you get into the AI space?
Man, it's been a quite an interesting transition. So before I even get into just business alone, I actually used to be in the gaming space for a very long time. I used to
Okay.
be a huge gamer. I did competitive Fortnite for a while, became a semi-professional, and got paid a decent amount from a team each month. And then I transitioned from there because I attempted to make my own gaming business here. It was we paid people to play games, and they won coupons. And that's where I would say my business acumen came from. And then slowly, a year later, I switched into my own business, which was Firestar. But Firestar, we were doing logos, we were doing brand kits, business plans. And that space was really, really good because it allowed me to create my first set of clients. And then
Mhm.
we transitioned to AI because there's just so much opportunity there. And once we created that first chatbot, we were just like, this is like instant value that we can provide to our clients. We got to get into the AI space. And then I had employees with me about 2 years ago, and now we've transitioned to having like just by myself again. And being in the AI space, you can run everything by yourself again, and that's a very good thing.
100%, man. So were you, so I know you were in the gaming space, like you just said, but
Yeah.
did you have any technical background before jumping into the AI space?
Well, yeah, I used to do a little bit of coding here and there.
Okay.
HTML certified. I got my certificate with that. A little bit of Java. I didn't really go heavy into it, but when I got into the AI space, especially with all the no code tools out there, it just made it so much easier. You didn't need much technical background,
Mhm.
and if there was a problem, it was on the internet somewhere, so on a YouTube video somewhere, and you'll be able to implement into your own workflows or things that you create.
Nice, man. So, how would you say that having some coding background has helped you? Because I've noticed that if you have more technical experience, you can
Yeah.
typically go faster and do bigger things
Hmm.
right away. Whereas if you
Yeah.
don't have a technical background, myself, it's a little more difficult. However, it's very possible.
Yes, so it's definitely very possible. And I think, and this is just from my own general experience here, just seeing people who have zero technical background get into this, they get scared of the code itself as though it's some type of language that they can never learn. They look
Mhm.
at this stuff as just like, what in the world? It's just a whole bunch of text. They don't actually see that the text has value. And if they actually were to read the text, then they'll be like, okay, this is what this does. And in this N8N space, you're talking about make.com, Zapier, the most amount of coding that you're doing, I mean for N8N, sometimes the most coding you're doing is like from AI. You tell the AI what
Mhm.
to do, or you're parsing some data, and these are all things that are available out there on the internet. And that's what makes these platforms so valuable and easy for people to just get onto. So if there is anyone who's trying to get into the space, the coding, ignore that. Don't be scared. It's very easy stuff to get into. Just focus on making solutions that are valuable.
That's so key, man. Like one of the things that I've learned from just communicating with other people in the space is the best way to learn how to automate is simply by figuring out where are the biggest pain points in your personal life or your business life, and then seeing
Mm,
where the redundancy is, the repetitive
yeah.
task, and then you can either chat GPT it, you can
Yep.
YouTube it, and then figure out very simply how to create that automation. That's like the
Yep.
simplest way to go about it, as
Yep.
opposed to just searching something that has nothing to do with your life. Like maybe you don't own
Yep.
a business, so why do you care
Yep.
about generating leads automatically, right? But
Yeah. Yep.
maybe you do care about writing reports automatically. So
Mhm.
you can then figure out, all right, how do I get this data to
Yeah.
automatically create a spreadsheet, and then I could schedule it,
Yeah.
make an appointment, whatever. Very simple things.
Yeah, and the thing is, I think a lot of people they overcomplicate it. They think they need this super stupendous systems. They've probably seen a YouTube video with Nate Herc or one of those big
Mhm.
guys. They're making like a whole entire workflow. Those workflows, at the end of the day, they serve a specific purpose. It's going to grab leads. Oh, that workflow is going to automatically make a proposal. That workflow is going to make a phone call. That workflow is going to do one specific thing. If you can focus on doing it, you can. And this is how we kind of think about it with any AI automation service. There's a high level to it, there's a medium level to it, and there's a low level to it.
Mhm.
If you want to get into this business, look at what that low level is first, and you'll be blown to your mind. There's probably a template out there already that you can start implementing and get it up and running. But yeah, I wouldn't say don't get scared. Don't get scared.
Yeah. No, I agree 100%. Don't get intimidated by it. I mean, it's actually pretty easy to learn. And
Yeah.
now, I got into the space back in like late 2022, early 2023.
Ooh,
And
nice.
from what I recall, there was only like one person really posting content.
Mm-hmm.
And now you have so many people who are
Yep.
like, here's my templates for automations, here's my templates for
Yep.
prompts, here's how you make it. And so now
Yep.
it's like become so available for people to
Y-
learn.
Yeah, and this is crazy. I don't know if you've experienced this yourself, but I've experienced it with my own clients. I have done full on videos on how to do X, Y, and Z, and then they still come to me to get it done. And what you'll
Yep.
realize is that in the AI space, once you can prove it, I think the reason why so many people like Nick Serifs, the Nate Herks of the world, who are big in the automation space right now, is they can prove their expertise right there. And most of these business owners, they don't have time to sit here and even make the automation anyway. They're going to come to you, but you have proven that you know that expertise. And if you're trying to get into the space, go on a template, see what template that they made, make it yourself live on video. You can show to any potential client that you have. I have the expertise to get this done, and I can get it done for you.
100%. I've had that experience with a really, really big client. They do tens of millions of dollars a year in revenue. And
Mm,
he's an older gentleman. He's just been binging my content. And
mm,
he gave me his phone number. Like he reached out to me. He's like, here's my phone number. Here's my
yeah,
email. I want to work with you. And then he was like, I missed this call. He called me twice, like back to back. And this is like
yeah,
how much demand there is for this AI in
yes,
right now. Like it's crazy.
yep,
I've started several businesses. I've never had a business to where
hmm,
I've had people like begging me, like,
yes,
hey, I want this.
yes.
I want you to work with
It's,
me.
it's it's the same thing here with me. It's really mind blowing, and then it's just as if you're getting into the space, you finally realize just how much control and options. Like one niching down, you'll find a niche. Your niche. I'll just say it this way: there's not a single business in this world right now, that does not have an AI solution that you can't implement for them.
Mm-hmm.
Every business in this world needs AI. And if you don't integrate AI, you're not going to be moving as fast. You're not going to be ahead of everyone. And that's the goal. If your competitor is going to be implementing it and they're going to be moving 3 times faster, you got to implement it too. You have no choice.
100%. Because the way I look at it is this: people are very afraid of losing their jobs or losing their business because of the AI innovation that's taking place right now. But
Mm-hmm.
it is no different than life in general. It's,
Yeah.
whether or not, we can go down these conspiracy theory routes, but whether or not
Yeah.
you believe in evolution, there's a big debate on that now. Whatever,
Yeah.
whether or not you believe in that, there is some aspect to survival of the fittest being real. And
Yeah.
so with that, you can apply that to the business world. New
Yeah.
environments come up, and now you have to adapt. You have to pivot.
Yep.
Like there's a lot of companies who don't have social media presence anymore,
Yeah.
or they never had it. And now they're not going to be able to sell their business. They're not going to be able to
Yeah.
pass their children down a good
It's,
business,
it's
right?
it's the same thing with websites, and I feel really bad for these mom and pop shops who are just hanging on because 10 years from now it's just not going to work. I see with my generation, we don't even look out the window when we're driving. I mean, some of us have been living at a place for the past 10 years and we don't even know that type of business. Oh, there's a Mexican place over there. I never knew. I've been living here for 10
Yep.
years. They don't even see what's happening in the world around them. The way that they see what's happening is through this phone here. And if you're not on this phone during that time you need it, you're never going to catch them. You're never going to catch them.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah. The gentleman I spoke to today on my coaching call, he's a real estate investor. And the common theme I'm finding is most people, small business owners, they
Yep.
just want to learn how they can make their content creation that much easier. And
Yeah.
it's so simple to just be like, all right, here's how you can prompt ChatGPT to make some scripts for you, and you
Yeah.
iterate. That's all you do. You just train it on what you do. It'll remember it, especially if you're paying the $20 a month,
Yeah.
and then just iterate. And so a lot of the things that business owners were intimidated by have now become so much easier with AI
Yeah.
for them to do.
Yeah. And
I
it's a solution. And also I think for workers, since the workforce, they're 10 times more intimidated than the business owners are.
Yep.
And because I get a lot of business owners too, they want to come and know I'm trying to get rid of some people right now. We're struggling. I'm trying to get rid of some people, and I always preface it to them is if you are able to double you yourself as a owner, if you're able to double your productivity by implementing this solution, imagine what's going to happen when you teach that employee how to do it, when you teach this employee how to do it. Now you're running circles. So that business owner that just fired like 5 people because now he has this whole entire proposal system made, it's not going to work. And now you're talking about now you're single-handedly working on these things when you had a group of people who could be handling those solutions. And the thing is, AI can be implemented with any employee. You can get them to, okay, this is how you're going to 10x this. This is how you're going to 10x another solution. It's mind blowing.
It is, man. Like I one metric that is stuck in my head because I worked for Cardone Ventures for a little while, Grant Cardone and
Mm,
Brandon Dawson business,
yes, yeah.
a consulting firm that they own. And they help business owners that are right around that $1 million in revenue mark a year,
Hmm.
all the way up to like 100, 200 mil. And
Yeah,
one of the key metrics that they talked about that is key to a healthy company is having revenue for employee at like $250,000. So
yeah.
250K is what a good business will do with employees per employee. So ideally, $1 million
Hmm.
company should have 4 employees. That
Yeah,
is ideal. Now with AI, just
yeah.
like you were saying, if you were able to train your employee on those
Hmm.
automations,
Yeah,
that
it should
now
be.
is going to skyrocket to like
Yeah,
500 to $1 million per
yes.
employee.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, it's like it changed. Like with AI, I mean, from just the clients that I've worked with, you're talking about first month implementing a solution, a lead gen solution, and I'm able to bring out like 10x of whatever their revenue is just from lead gen. And like they're still going through like on the back end, some of them they continue on with their just manual processes until like things kind of pick up and they realize, okay, this is actually working.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm bringing more clients for them than they are. My proposals are doing more deal closes than they are. It's funny. It's funny.
No, that's really cool, man. So you earlier in the conversation, you had stated that there's like a beginner, mid, and upper level tier when it comes to these automations.
Yes.
Let's
Yep.
assume, for the sake of argument here, most people that will listen to this are at the beginner phase.
Hmm.
What are some steps you would recommend they take in order to build up their skill set to first get into automations and
Okay.
then grow from there?
Yep. So first things first, find real problems. You can get very lost in trying to implement problems that actually don't exist as much. Find real problems. Write down 5 things that you know yourself, business owners are always facing. Lead generation, biggest one. Everyone wants to make more money. Project efficiency, proposal efficiency, hiring processes. Those are all real problems that they're facing, and they're all mundane tasks. Okay, they have to that anything that you can imagine a business owner going on their computer right now, oh, looking through this spreadsheet, updating this spreadsheet, you can update all of those. And for the beginner level, learn the basics. One, see what resources are on Google Workspace, learn how to integrate some type of Gmail, learn how to integrate Google Sheets, learn how to integrate Google Docs. If just those three, knowing how to integrate those 3 resources alone could make you thousands of dollars just like that. And you'll find that even most business owners, they're willing enough to switch to whatever resource that they're using. Let's just say they're using Microsoft Teams. They'll switch over to Google Meet if it's going to be making them 10x return. Like they're going to switch over.
Mm-hmm.
And if you learn just those 3 resources, you can do so much. It's so powerful what you can do with just those 3 resources. And it's so much easier than you would think. Like it really, even on the beginner, even the medium level ones aren't more complex. They just have more extra steps in the process. So if you just focus on most important things that you need for business owners, what problem that they're having right now, and then focus on automations that integrate some type of Google resource, you'll be on there.
Right. I know that you own an AI agency, so you're implementing solutions for business owners currently. And
Yep.
I am curious if it helps the business owner more so than you. Obviously, this would help you out tremendously, but
Yeah.
for the business owner standpoint, would it
Hmm.
be beneficial for them to just kind of do their own research first and try to get basic understanding of what AI is, what automations are, how they can be
Mhm.
incorporated in their business, so that way they could find the right agency to help them implement.
Yeah, so definitely in terms of finding the right agency for a business, it is your goal to determine what your main problems are in your business. Focus on that first and then determine what potential solutions are going to be. The same way on our other side, on the agency side, we find what potential problems business owners are facing and find a solution how we can like find a way to find a solution for those. So it's the same way. What are the actual problems that you're facing? Because you can do 100 million things with ChatGPT,
Mm-hmm.
but you want to focus on lead gen. See how lead gen can be solved for that. And
Yep.
that's the way that you're going to go towards it.
That makes a lot of sense. And so, what would be maybe like three tools you would recommend somebody use every day to get a very,
Mm,
very basic understanding of AI and then skill up, even to the point to where they're like, all right, I know enough to know how to hire a good agency, or I know enough
mm.
to build the things on my own.
Yeah, I would say in terms of resources out there, I wouldn't really push the resources, but actually go on YouTube and find people who are already doing this. Like, Nick Seraph, he's a great example. He has shown he will show you as a business owner, okay, these are the main things that you should probably be focusing on. And he does live builds and everything else, but you probably won't be building it out yourself, but you're going to see what are the main things that can implement or even ask ChatGPT. ChatGPT will be your best friend with this. Hey, ChatGPT, these are the current problems I am facing with my business. What are 10 potential automations that I could be implementing to solve those problems? Okay. What's it at a higher level? What is at a lower level? What does that automation look like at a really simple level? From there, you can determine what agencies to go to because each agency, they're going to come to you. They're going to tell you, okay, these are the things that I'm capable of doing. Once you mention, okay, this is a higher level automation, I need something connected to my own directories. How we're going to connect to my own directories. Can you do that? They'll be able to tell you, okay, I can't do that. So now you see, okay, they can probably do a medium level automation or a lower level automation. And
Mm-hmm.
that's how you can determine which agency to kind of work with from there.
No, that makes a lot of sense. And out of curiosity, man, what would you say is the biggest misconception you see in the AI space right now?
Mm, man, So I would say with a lot of burnt out business owners, the ones who've already spent thousands and thousands of dollars on this solution, that solution, they believe that AI is just another hype. They believe it's just another thing that's just coming around, and it's not going to be anything crazy. And that's the biggest misconception that they have. And then there's also people on the opposite side where they think AI is that magic finder, and I just throw everything to it, which you really can, but they think that their expertise of actually closing a sale, that's where they don't have to do any of that. So it makes things on the both ends where people, they're like, I don't believe in AI. AI is just some another fad that's going by, and then the opposite end where people are really too into it, and they probably I even had an issue with ChatGPT this morning. Like, they probably just go into it too much and they're thinking, oh, everything here is perfect. Let me just copy and paste this whole entire thing here. But yeah, our goal is to get people to that middle. Business owners need to be in the middle part. First things first, just learn the basics of ChatGPT. Then you can go to an automation agency and get things automated for yourself.
And how would you recommend, like, for business owners to, let's say they do bring out an agency,
Yeah.
would it be the agency's responsibility then to teach their employees, or would you say the onus is on the business owner? And if it is on the business owner, how would they go about training their employees to use it?
Yeah, so actually most agencies, they will train your employees for you, most of them most of the time for free. Some of them they do have some type of set price, but you always want to be training your employees on these resources because you're going, like, seriously, you're going to be moving at speeds. You're going to be moving 10 times faster than they can on certain things. And once you're running through 100 project proposals through a week and your team can't handle that, it's not going to be good. Especially you're going to throwing your sales team on things. I mean, one client here, we're just bringing him too many leads. You're like queuing some things here. You're bringing them. It takes you at least 1 month to actually do the whole entire project for them. Now there's just people waiting here, you
Mm.
know? So make sure that you're training your whole entire team on all these resources. And most of these agencies, they will train your employees either for free or some minimal price because the automation itself is what's kind of they know the value of the automation is itself.
100%. And there's so many new tools coming out, man, and AI is evolving
Mm.
so fast. Like
Yeah.
it's so hard to keep up with everything,
Yes.
even
Yep.
being in the space. It's
I can't
just,
even keep up with my subscriptions, man. Oh my
dude, I
goodness.
know, man. Like,
The cost of my subscriptions just surpassed my rent now. So
oh wow.
yeah. Yeah. So
But it's giving you some good ROI, it sounds like.
yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
paying for itself, that's for sure. What would you say is like the most exciting thing going on in the space right now, or what is coming that's exciting you?
Ooh, okay. So what is exciting right now? I would still say N8N, any tool through N8N,
Mhm.
connection through N8N. If there's anything you guys want to learn, go through N8N. I know a lot of people use Make or Zapier. Zapier is really simple. You'll run into some bottlenecks with Zapier. Forget even learning it. Forget even learning Make.com. Just go to N8N. It's the best resource to get started on. Whether you are a business owner attempting to build this yourself, or you're going to an agency who's going to build this out. And I would say for the space here as an agency, what I'm really excited about is that now we're going to be able to implement custom dashboards for clients, very similar to how a software is. And we can really like real time show, okay, these are the amount of emails that we sent. These are what those open rates are. And we will be able to show to business owners instantly what that value is. Because sometimes I've had it with clients where you start a project with them and they kind of like, because they're not directly having some type of impact where they're like, contacting me or calling me every other day. They don't really, they forget what the value of everything is. And they forget those 3 leads that are coming in directly came from us. And they're like, oh man, like they get lost in it. So now we're able to make dashboards utilizing no code tools like Lovable, Bolt.new. So I'm really excited at how those are going to be integrated together very soon in the future.
How do you see the AI agency space developing with that? Because it seems that you have a huge opportunity in that particular industry to go from service based to
Mm-hmm.
making like a productized
Subscription
service.
based?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say for agencies, particularly, be very careful. Be very careful with that, because what is going to happen, and I'm hoping agencies take a recognition at this, is you don't want to start making yourself seem as though you're some type of software company, and you're going to eat away at your margins. You're going to be eating away at your time very, very soon. And you have to remember the value that you're bringing to business owners is the reason why you can charge these prices. The reason I can say I'm going to guarantee you get you 3x return on investment on this project is because I know the value of the products that I'm providing. And you look at resources like Instantly, those, any of those softwares, they're not bringing the value that they need. Most of these business owners have used those tools before, right? They're not bringing the value that they need, and your solution is bringing that value. Don't start I know with people, anytime they see software, they feel like, oh, they can like slowly reduce price. Don't do it. And remember the value that you're providing.
Right. And what would you say to somebody who's interested in getting into the space?
Yeah.
Would you recommend that they first get into learning AI solutions to implement into businesses, or get into app development and learning how to do vibe coding?
AI solutions first. AI solutions. If you know how to implement the solutions, then you can get into vibe coding itself. Because vibe coding, you're not here with vibe coding to make some type of subscription app. If you want to make a subscription app, you would probably go into doing that first. But if you make AI solutions, that's when we're talking about later making those type of dashboards, making those visual layouts as well.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Mhm.
And man,
And this is the thing. It's so weird. I think some people when they get into this space, they feel like they have to like full first time I get into this, I gotta spend 10 hours on this. I'm gonna do this, get this done. No, 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 no. You can spend an hour, 30 minutes a day learning vibe coding slowly. You can build your front ends slowly but surely. Within a week, even still within a week, you spend an hour a day or 30 minutes a day, even over a week, you'll have something very viable to be able to at least start putting out. So focus on the solutions. The solutions is where the money is going to be. And for business owners, the solutions where the return on investment is going to be. And then you can kind of go into getting that vibe coding stuff. The applications, the software applications, I would say software is going to slowly become irrelevant, sadly, with the AI. So it's slowly going to become irrelevant. So if you throw yourself into that space, just know you have maybe a 4 or 5 year timeline before everything is just right through ChatGPT. If I want a timer app, it's going to be through ChatGPT. Set me a timer,
Right.
ChatGPT. Make me a habit tracker. And it will be right there. The future is kind of personalized here.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy to see what happens even
Hmm.
within the next few months because you
Yeah.
have OpenAI purchasing IO, the guy
Hmm.
who created
Windsurf too.
yep,
Yep.
Windsurf with the vibe coding.
Hmm.
So like what all OpenAI is going to be able to do is going to be incredible. I
Yeah.
was a little concerned for OpenAI once Google released their keynote the
Oh
other
yeah.
day,
Yeah.
but
Google. Yeah.
go
I have a
ahead.
lot of words for Google here.
Yeah, let's
Um,
hear it.
I'm I will say I'm not the biggest Google fan, and
Hmm.
I'm really happy about what's happening to them in the AI space because they cannot continue doing the things that they've been doing here. In terms of the advertising space, they've been taking a lot of advantage only because hey, they're Google. And the AI space has finally been the thing where like they're not that shining star. Yes, they might be shining star on VO3 right now, that just recent release, but as soon as ChatGPT releases another their own models here, they're going to forget about it. And also, I want to mention to business owners or anyone watching this, when you see things released like VO3, just always remember these things have already been worked on 3 months ago, 6 months ago. They're finally good enough to be released to the public. I mean, I've worked on projects myself, and they'll like blow your mind. I'm talking about full on computer use systems that will blow your mind here. These solutions have already been made, but they just haven't slowly been stable enough for you guys to actually use as the general public. So anything that you're seeing here, just know there's 10 times better right now.
Yeah, no, I agree with that, man. Like they have to, and plus also there's just the cost to it, right? Like
Hmm.
they have to make it more efficient so that way they
Yep.
can actually ship it out to the public, even if you are paying like $200 a month or something for
Yeah.
use of
Yeah.
VO3. I think it is something ridiculous like that, if I'm
Yeah,
not
it is.
mistaken.
It's like I saw some people pay like $500 for a whole video, per video here.
Yeah,
So
it's
yeah.
crazy. And then even with that, like I do think that there is a big misconception too with how the difficulty level of doing these
Hmm.
things. Like years
Yeah.
ago when I first got into the space, I actually paid an absurd amount for
Yeah.
somebody to teach me how to properly use Dolly 3 to like create real
Oh man,
images. And then
man.
but here's the thing, I actually don't regret paying for it
Yeah.
because I'm not a video guy. I'm not a picture guy. I'm not
Hmm.
anything like that. So I don't know different camera angles, names, or things like that. So I was able to learn, like, okay, so you can have it position a certain way, the shot of the image, and then
Yeah.
you can have it do different frames. You can
Hmm.
have it, have a different color, all these different technical terms that I wasn't aware of. I
Yeah.
feel like there's a big misconception when it comes to how easy these tools are to use. Because while we are talking about that it isn't too difficult, there is
Yeah.
definitely a learning curve, especially
Hmm.
on in my opinion, the video side of things. That's like you
Yeah.
have to
I
have
would say
almost. Go ahead.
Yeah, I would say in terms of learning, people think about it as though it's like we're learning chemistry and I'm actually putting chemicals together. It's more in the AI space, it's more like learning definitions. Okay, this is what this definition means. This is what it does. This is what this definition means. I'm not putting whole entire new ideas together to try to get a output or a new chemical. So
Right.
yeah, that's how I kind of look at it here.
Yeah, no, I think that's a fair way to look at it, man. And
Mhm.
so, what would you say, like, right now is the best AI tool for somebody just to master?
Mm.
If they just had one tool,
One tool.
yeah,
One tool. I guess the way
one
I'm gonna
tool to
frame
rule
this
them
one
all.
if I the way I'm gonna frame this one, it's gonna sound kind of like I'm kind of avoiding the question here, but the best tool here to master if you're trying to monetize, if you're trying to implement into your own business, is NAN. And one, you give access to other tools as well. If you're talking about Gen AI tools like the Chat GPTs and Perplexities of the world or the Claudes of the world, then I would say for business owners specifically, not on any creative side, you're focusing on marketing, you're focusing on finding solutions, I would go for Perplexity, and I
Mm,
use Perplexity on my
wow.
day-to-day life here. So
I
yeah,
did not see perplexity coming in the mix there. I've used it a
yeah.
little bit. Maybe I'm
Oh
not
yeah,
using it well, but
yeah.
chat
They've
GPT all
um
day for
they've
me.
they've definitely changed things dramatically over these past like 6 months, and I'm happy that they've done that. ChatGPT, they definitely still do need a challenger, out there. What I don't want in the AI industry is that there's a one person that rules all. Hence the reason I'm really happy that Google is not doing good here. Is you don't want a one person ruling all, because you'll find that, oh man, they have this bottleneck and I have nowhere else to go, you know? And you'll see it within like ChatGPT, like ChatGPT projects. You know, there's some things that you can't implement or do.
Mhm.
You know, and then you can go into Perplexity, and then it does that. But for business owners who are looking to improve processes in their business, do research. Perplexity is your best option.
Mm. Yeah, I've heard Perplexity is really good for deep research.
Yes.
Like I said, I've used it a little bit, but dude,
Mhm.
I don't know, man. I've been very committed to ChatGPT.
Yeah. Well,
So
for some business owners, ChatGPT will be their first introduction. So
yeah.
they just stick to it and they're like, oh, ChatGPT is great. I love this. I love this, you know? But there's a lot of things in Perplexity that I really like. So, you know, all these tools now can do deep research, you know, ChatGPT, Grok, Claude, all of them can do deep research. But with Perplexity to deep research, it's really streamlined and focused of what's important to you or your business here. I can do deep research on how to make the best website or something like that, but it's not going to be related to what my main goals are unless I prompt it to automatically do that. And with ChatGPT, it sometimes just adds useless data. I'm like, how am I going to implement that into my whole entire website process? With Perplexity's deep research, it's really streamlined. Okay, these are the main pinpoints that you need to focus. This is what you need to focus on. So I really like that.
What is deep research for those who may not know?
Oh yeah, so deep research is where LLMs effectively, instead of just providing you one complete chat, it just the same way that you think to get something done, it's literally thinking, okay, step by step process, this is what I need to do in order to get this main goal, right? So I'm going to find some articles about this. I'm gonna find another article about this, another article about this. Then I'm going to take the summaries from those articles, put them together, and make a whole entire output from there versus the way that ChatGPT currently does is it's okay, these are all the things that I have on my preset memory. I'll try to pull from there. It's actually doing research from the internet, from articles that you connect. Like it will do actual research, grab all of those data from each of those things, and provide a comprehensive response.
So basically, it's like having a PhD student in your pocket that will do a ton of
Yeah.
research for you for
Yeah.
20
Yeah. We'll
bucks a
do a
month.
whole entire essay for you. Yeah.
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 No, that's good to know. Now, another question I have for you that's more so like definitions, because
Hmm.
I think that there's a lot of misunderstanding on these things and when to use them. For example,
Yeah.
AI agents versus
Mm,
automations. Because when people hear AI automations, they just
yeah.
lump in AI agents with that.
Yeah.
They're
You
two
know,
separate things.
You know something? This is so funny. I was actually talking to someone about this exact topic here. It's something that's happening in the industry, and I think it's for newer salespeople who are like trying to sell AI solutions. Like they don't know exactly how to word it, and they want to try to sound it, make it spice up anything that they have to make it sound
Mhm.
cooler. So AI agents specifically are things that have freedom. Let's just think about it really plainly, freedom on your computer to do a specific task, right? It can go onto Google Sheets and open a new Google Sheet, add some people onto a Google Sheet list, and it can control your computer. That's how I view AI agents.
Mhm.
AI systems, which are most of the things that we sell here, are things that can go in the back end without you being there and actually get a task done, like opening Google Sheets, adding people to a Google Sheet list, right? And then obviously with Gen AI resources, it's things that you're conversationally, I can talk to it. I put input and it provides me an output. So that's how I would kind of look at it there.
Yeah, no, thank you for defining those because there's a,
Mhm.
as you just said, there's a big misunderstanding as to what they
Yeah.
actually
And
are.
even the wording gets kind of, even I would say, even when I first started, like the wording gets kind of misconstrued. I mean, look at the fact that we changed the whole entire definition of AGI just so we could fit into the idea that we could get it done. Because realistically, we're not going to be getting aid to AGI within the next 5 years, right? But I mean, we changed the whole entire wording of it just so we could get to that process faster. And it's going to be good. Well, for us, or if you're in the AI space, the goal is one, we need to always keep investors happy. We have to keep them hype, and AGI being that next goal and saying, okay, we can reach this within this next, 2 or 3 years. It keeps them really happy. They'll sit back and be like, okay, we'll keep giving you money here, and hence the reason why we do with the wording. Whether that's with business owners that we're working with, is the wording is just like, okay, which one's going to spice this up to really get them into it? Some people have heard of AI agents and they think it's kind of boring, but AI systems, okay, then not that. Well, what's that? Like AI
Yeah.
system? I know. wow, I need a system. So,
right? Because chatbots kind of convoluted what AI
hmm
agents are. I think a
yeah,
lot, especially early days, because
yeah,
that's what I learned how to build were chatbots when I first
yeah,
started. And it was almost synonymous with an AI agent back then.
yeah,
It's like there
yeah.
wasn't
And
much
that
distinction.
well, so there are people who literally just call AI chatbots AI systems.
Hmm.
So,
Right.
and it's just the way that you word. I mean, the thing is, I guess you technically could now because chatbots are not like they were back then. We can do real things with chatbots. I mean, I can book calendars. I mean, the chatbots we have just walk someone through a whole entire sales process and close the deal then in a chat. So, pet supply store I worked with literally closes the deal, tells them this is the product that you need. Go and purchase this product. So it's like, yeah, there's so much more. And with the checkout link, connect them with their accounts. It's so
It's
much things. You
crazy.
can do a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard a CRO yesterday. He was talking about how they have integrated AI into their whole sales process. And
Mm,
it's not replacing sales reps, but it's
yep.
augmenting their response. They're augmenting it
Mhm,
with the sales reps. Exactly like you just said. They're
yeah,
handling all of the front end work from like coming in from the
mm,
top of lead. Then the AI agent essentially or the chatbot does
yeah,
all the communication to book a call or whatever. And then the
yeah,
human actually handles it at the end,
yeah,
which I
and
thought was a really cool thing.
yeah, and I think one thing that people kind of forget, and I was there was this fact here that I heard, is that if you respond back to a client within like the first minute of making a call, you have like a 304% chance of getting that deal closed. And it's the same thing with chatbots here, and same thing with proposals. Some business owners are putting these proposals together. You're getting it done the next day. The client they got on that sales call with you. They were really excited. Oh my goodness, he's about to do all of these things for my business. He's about to improve this, do this, and they get really excited here. And then they forget about it a day later, and they probably even they're like, oh, I'm going to find a different solution here. If
Yep.
you can get a proposal to them within 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes of you finishing a whole entire call, and which are things that we put together here at our business, like it changes everything drastically because now that hype feeling one is I kind of like call it like a timer here before they lose it.
Yep.
That hype feeling is going to stay there, and by that time they're ready to put in their credit card purchase, you're good.
Yeah, man. And that's so true. Like once you get somebody on board to purchase your product or service, you need to be able to just settle everything up
Do it.
right
Yeah.
there, or else they're
Yes.
going to find somebody else. That momentum's going to shift.
Yeah.
So implementing AI to help you
Yeah.
streamline it is so
Yeah.
important.
And also it's for businesses themselves because I know some businesses they're like they really want to hard negotiate some things. Like one thing you're going to realize is that once you miss that first opportunity with that first agencies they get clients. Like I mean I can pick through clients with how many clients I get through, right? So these agencies they're not too worried about not getting you as a client. They have someone who's just waiting for them right now. And once you're not booked on their time, man, the service is going to be different, especially at the end of the month when they're all boggled down. Like things are just different here. So if you're going to do it, go ahead and get with that agency then, or if especially if you've taken the time to actually research with them, like get with that agency then. You're going to go to a different agency. They're going to provide effectively all the same service. Get with that agency then. Don't wait. You're not going to get a better price elsewhere. You're not going to, it's just going to make things slower for you. And your goal as a business is to start making money and make it now. Improve things, improve them now. So get it done fast.
So true, man. Godwin, where can people find you if they want to either work with you or just watch your content?
Yeah, so you can go to my TikTok here. We launched our TikTok. And TikTok's been doing really good. So that's at firestart.growth. And that's the whole entire point. I teach you guys how to implement AI solutions into your own business. And if you're interested in services as well, you can either email me staff@firestaragency.com, or you can even message me directly through TikTok. However you like that, you can go through our website. Very simple website. Put in your contact details and we can get started from there, or connect with me on LinkedIn, Godwin Stanzel on LinkedIn. So that would be
Awesome.
great as well.
Nice. I'll be sure to put all of that in the description below. That way people can easily just access it. But
Thank you. Thank you.
man, it's been a pleasure speaking with you.
Yes, definitely, man. I appreciate it. It was amazing.
100%.